Hi, everyone. We just finished our very first session in Proof of Mind. I want to thank everybody for coming. And I did want to just share a short video about some of the things I spoke to and some of the things that came up. And I will share our inquiry questions for anyone that does want to catch up. I am not going to be posting the recordings because I really want those live calls to be a sacred space. I want it to be somewhere that people can share and be open so that they can, get the most out of these calls for themselves. And so I don't have the AI or the transcription on. And I will do an update just to let you know because we're going to do a second session next Friday to keep going. So today in the Proof of Mind calling a New Year vision session, we spoke about the completion of patterns, birth and rebirth, and in accordance or in connection to the hero's journey. Now, the reason why I like to do a New Year session is because it is often people have got goals at the beginning of the year, get really excited, but then it doesn't always happen, or they're not able to truly kind of have that become the reality. And I think that vision and bringing your vision and your dreams to reality is an all time thing, not just a New Year idea, but it really is about the inner journey that precedes outer change. So that's why this theme was, not goal setting, but a threshold, a map of inner journey, inner change. So I think of this as our hero's inner journey. And in the hero's journey, if you're familiar with it, if not, I'll be sharing more posts about the hero's journey and how I have connected it to the inner transformation or pattern resolution journey that we've got here in Proof of Mind, that you'll hear me also call the healing journey. But the number one step of the hero's journey is the ordinary world. So this is life as it has been, even when it's uncomfortable, familiar patterns, roles, identities. This is what's known, right? This is like just even the great comfort that maybe is very familiar. So you could think of this as living in a house you've outgrown but known by heart. And the inquiry that I brought forth in our session today is what feels familiar but no longer true. And that is where we see, there's nothing to be done here but to become aware. Some of these things you might already be seeing. And B, so the next step is the call to adventure, which we could also say the call to action, the call to healing, the call is like a pull towards something more aligned. It's often subtle, persistent, inconvenient. It shows up as curiosity, longing, restlessness, or a knowing. I think of it too as, what is coming alive in me? But it could also be the result of pain, right? Like this could be where excess comes in, or we've just found ourselves in a pattern of eating or debt or just toxic relationships, whatever it is. We don't have a judgment for how the pattern is revealing itself to us. We look at what are we feeling called to do, and sometimes the calling is in regards to wanting to get better, so to speak, brighter, healthier, more energetic in order to serve or in order to lead. Because if we look at the entire hero's journey, it's the number 12th step is returning with the elixir, or as I say it, emerging as the wisdom teacher. This is where you've become free on some level and can therefore contribute more. And this did come up really nicely in our session with one of our participants speaking to, this kind of idea of boundaries or people pleasing. And that's a perfect example of how the call to adventure could be kind of there underneath it, where it's like calling you to hear your own voice. It's calling you to listen, and it's calling you to truly do what's right for you in your integrity, so that you can be that leader, or so that you are inner leadership forward. And so you could think of this as a door that keeps appearing no matter how busy you get. And the inquiry for this in the session was, what feels alive or inevitable right now? And so I did go on to share a bit more of, some of the ways that I have gone through rebirths in my life. And I know that we've all do. We've all been in times where we have to let things go and move forward, or, the saying where your new life costs you your old life. And this is a real awareness creating exercise, or even just thought experiment to think, what am I still here to let go? What's still there that is like causing me to go back to the familiar? This could even be in dating, in habits, in the way we work. This affects all areas of life. And what is still there to be processed, felt, released, let go of from an inner perspective? And the reason that I'm bringing this up to now as I finish up this video is because the next week we are going to have a coherence session. And coherence is that full body embodiment of your vision. Because today we had a coaching session, and coaching helps you see, whereas coherence helps you stabilize. And stability is where you do get to just be in yourself and feel what's coming up, feel the emotions, feel the things that cause you to want to get out of yourself, and become a really aware while having that space. So we could think of this as a meditative or trance, like we might use hypnosis or sound or shamanism or meditation in our coherent sessions to drop in. So we're really coming out of the analytical, logical, conscious mind. There's where the solutions are not. This isn't a problem to solve, and dropping into the heart, to the soul, to the body, letting wisdom within ourselves and the universe come in to help us on this path. And then that is going to prepare us to accept the call, because once you accept the call, stuff is in motion. Things are happening, things are in motion. And so then we had some time for reflections and questions and shares from our members and participants. And they were so beautiful. It's just so great to get to know you. It's no surprise that we've got, some really beautiful people in this community that are just doing amazing things. And yeah, we have so much awareness. And so I'm going to leave it at that. Again, everyone here in this membership right now is a founding member. I thank you for being here. And I'll put those questions below, because if you do want to further go into your inquiry, you can. And also a few housekeeping things, you can post. You guys can post in the group. So if you want to share any thoughts that come from watching this video, if you want to share any things you wrote from your inquiries, I think that writing and sharing is such a beautiful way to process, learn, heal, and grow. And again, do you. And the other thing I'll say is I did add a new glossary into Proof of Mind. I put a new course. It's called Inner Reserves, and a course in school is just like where we can have the information. So if you are um, wanting to read through it, I'll post some of the definitions, but I basically defined a bunch of awesome words for our membership. And yeah, you can check it out there. So again, thanks for everybody for joining. Thanks for everyone for being here. I can't wait to see you next Friday. I will add that to the calendar now. Ciao for now.